Over the course of history, the music industry has always been in search of finding the next big thing, the artist who is going to replace the current musical act dominating the industry. From the record labels, media, and even the fans, there are people who strive to pin artists against each other and compare them to their counterparts simply for having similar musical traits. We have seen it with the Madonna and Lady Gaga comparisons, Lil Kim and Nicki Minaj, Justin Timberlake and Justin Bieber, Michael Jackson and Bruno Mars, Chris Brown, The Weeknd, and Beyonce, Ashanti and Beyonce, such as when the New York Times infamously described the newly solo Beyonce as, quote, "she's no Ashanti," unquote. And more recently, Beyonce and literally every single up-and-coming black female artist, such as Chloe Bailey, Normani, and Victoria Monet. Two other artists who were victims of this, particularly in 2008, was Mariah Carey and Leona Lewis. I am sure we all know who the Mariah Carey is, aka the elusive chanteuse, and all that she has accomplished in her illustrious career, including holding the record for the most Billboard #1 hit songs for a solo artist. But for those who may be unfamiliar or need a refresher on Leona, the British songstress rose to prominence in December 2006 when she was a contestant in the third series of the talent competition show The X Factor, and became the first woman to win the prize. Throughout her time on the show, she was being compared to vocalists such as Mariah, Whitney Houston, and Celine Dion as she sung covers of their iconic songs during her time on the show. After her win, Leona also won a record deal with Simon Cowell's label Psycho Music. Simon was also the creator of the show X Factor and Leona's mentor on the show. Leona recorded a cover of Kelly Clarkson's song A Moment Like This, which went on to become the second best-selling single in the United Kingdom in 2006.
I used to spend ages listening to this song and just wishing that it was me singing on the radio.
She'll give it everything, I'm sure she will. I mean, there's a massive comparison here, but she'll deal with it.
In February of 2007, Leona signed a 5-album contract with Clive Davis' label J Records. From there, Clive and Simon recruited a team of songwriters and producers such as Neo, Stargate, and Dallas Austin to help craft Leona's debut album. The album, titled Spirit, was released in November of 2007, selling 375,000 copies in the UK and 205,000 copies in the US respectively in its first week, which was led by the international hit single Bleeding Love. The single went platinum in the US and 3 times platinum in the UK and spent several weeks at #1 in multiple countries including the US, the UK, Netherlands, Belgium, and Ireland. It was the best-selling single in the UK in 2007, as well as the best-selling single in the US in 2008. Leona performed Bleeding Love practically everywhere, from Good Morning America, American Idol, and The Oprah Winfrey Show, which helped catapult the song and the album to #1, which made Leona at the time the first British solo artist in 18 years to simultaneously top both the Billboard 200 and Hot 100 charts. Her album Spirit has sold over 7 million copies worldwide and still remains the best-selling debut album by a female artist in the UK. As Leona was making her mark in the US in early 2008, when her hit song Bleeding Love finally reached #1 in March of that year, Mariah Carey was gearing up to release her 11th studio album, E=MC². The album was initially supposed to be released in late 2007 and then again in February 2008, but eventually the hip-hop, gospel, reggae-infused celebratory album was released in April of 2008. 2 months prior, Mariah released her lead single for the album, Touch My Body, which in its 7th week on the charts went on to break historic records by becoming Mariah's 18th #1 single and breaking Elvis Presley's record as the solo artist with the most #1 singles on the Billboard Hot 100 charts in United States history. The massive success of Touch My Body helped propel E=MC² to debut at #1 on the Billboard 200 with the largest first-week opening of Mariah's career with 463,000 copies sold. Let me know in the comments if you would like me to do a video breakdown of this album because I feel like this is one of her most genre-crossing, festive, and polished lyrical work of art that she's ever created, which further emphasized the expansiveness of her pen game. By the summer of 2008, both Leona Lewis' Spirit and Mariah Carey's E=MC² were dominating the charts and sales in the US. A Variety article at that time stated that if you organize this year's album sales charts by gender, Mariah Carey and Leona Lewis will be 1 and 2, as Carey's 11th disc, E=MC², has topped 1.1 million in US sales, and Lewis' debut, Spirit, has sprinted beyond 900,000. Around that time, Leona was asked by Parade magazine what she thought of the comparisons people have made of her and Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston. Leona said that the comparisons are exceedingly gratifying because they are so great. In April of 2008, when Mariah was doing press for the album E=MC², the singer-songwriter finally addressed the comparisons to Leona and how the media and music industry was in search of the quote-unquote new Mariah. In conversation with the British newspaper The Guardian, the journalist asked Mariah what she thought of Leona and all of the other up-and-coming singers aspiring to be the next Mariah. Mariah said, quote, honestly, there's been so many this is the new her, and I'm like, okay, show me the new her. Can she come and work for me and be my double? And I'm not talking about this particular girl because I have only heard her once and I didn't really see a true similarity, particularly in the style of music. It is what it is, and they have compared me to so many people who are not really singers and they're certainly not writers. If I was to focus on this and really dwell on that, it would really bring me down. And so I just try to pray for, like, okay, lose the spirit of jealousy. It's not a good one. Envy is a really powerful thing. Not good. I don't have anything to be concerned about because there is no new me. I am me until the day I die. Whenever that is when it is, unquote. When asked if she is worried about being replaced by the newer generation of stars, Mariah confidently said, quote, I'm internally 12 and I'm going to stay 12 forever by saying it forever. I may change how I dress or how I change my hair or whatever, but the point is that you look at people who I look up to and who could still stand on the stage and command your attention. Be it Aretha Franklin or Diana Ross, you look at them and you think you could grow up without losing your place, and I'm hardly putting myself on the same level. It's just that we're all Aries, unquote. I love Mariah's response because, for one, I am also an Aries, and secondly, I feel like she eloquently put everyone in their place by proclaiming that she is here to stay. And even though she is getting older and tenured in the industry, that doesn't mean she is on her way out. The fourth quarter of every year, every Christmas season, Mariah demonstrates her longevity and relevance by her classic song, All I Want for Christmas, topping the charts annually. Even 25 years after its release, the Christmas jingle went number one for the first time in 2019. Additionally, while Leona and many other singers may have similar vocal ranges to Mariah, what sets Mariah apart is her impeccable songwriting, which has placed her in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. All in all, I do feel like the media and record label mismanaged Leona's career because I believe she deserved a better team that cultivated her sound and direction as opposed to propping her up to be the next Whitney or Mariah. The expectations were far too high and it outweighed the output, whether it was not being properly promoted after her debut era, choosing the wrong lead singles despite great bodies of work, and passing or missing out on potentially career-altering songs such as Stronger by Kelly Clarkson, Halo by Beyonce, and even We Found Love by Calvin Harris and Rihanna. Either way, both women have had successful careers and have made their unique marks in music history. Sadly, the media, labels, and stands are still comparing up-and-coming stars to established artists, and we are seeing the same thing with the South African singer Tyla being compared to Rihanna and Victoria Monet being compared to Beyonce for her jaw-dropping performance skills. Hopefully, one day we can let these artists develop and grow organically without them feeling the pressure to be the replacement for the established legends in the industry. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.